Hey, it's Clayton Olson, and in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to create freedom and empowerment in your relationships. And in this video, I'm not going to talk about what you can start adding to your repertoire of techniques. I'm actually going to point to something that is really crucial for you to begin to remove and let go of to experience the freedom that you want in your relationships, the freedom to be you, the freedom to allow another person to be them, the freedom to have all of your resources and creativity at your fingertips so that you can navigate the complexity of relationships from your most balanced, highest self. One way that I see people lock themselves up and imprison themselves in relationships unknowingly and unconsciously is by trying to control other people's perceptions of them. So for instance, if you identify as someone who is kind, nice, big-hearted, and you're with somebody or you're in a relationship with someone who has a different opinion of you, and you begin to start to track that they don't see you as kind and big-hearted, maybe they see you as selfish, the more attached you are to changing their perception of you, the more disempowered you become, the more locked up you become. I've seen this happen in toxic relationships with some of the coaching clients that I work with, where they're so attached to being right about themselves and convincing the other person of who they are or who they aren't, that they end up staying in a relationship where they continue to disempower themselves and continue to build up more and more levels of anxiety and ultimately divorce from their true self, lose their center, and end up deteriorating into the exact person that they don't want to be. So I'll say it again. The more freedom we can give other people to have whatever story they want about us, the more free we experience ourselves in the relationship. And so what this might mean, what the maneuver might actually look like, is when someone gives us a reflection of ourselves that we find a resistance to. That's the piece right there, is to stop resisting it, is to turn towards that resistance and say, wait a second, how might this actually be true? If I was to really actually step into this for a moment, how might it be that I'm showing up selfish this way? Is it okay for me to be selfish and still love myself? Right? And that's the key. Sometimes we think, wait a second, if I was to see myself this way that they're inviting me to see me, then I'm no longer lovable. I can no longer accept myself. And that's the work. That's how we create the freedom, is we turn towards that aspect of ourselves and we love it. And we say, actually, I can welcome this invitation to see myself this way, and I can include it, and I can still love myself, and I can still be in rapport with my experience, maybe giving myself permission to be selfish sometimes, to be self-centered, and to be myopic maybe in my pursuits. I can see this happen in intimate relationships. It happens in business partnerships as well. And that is the key to look at, is whenever we get locked up and we start to feel disempowered in a relationship, and we're judging the other person, it's often a really good sign that there's something that we're trying to control in the system that we have no business trying to control. So do a scan of your relationships. Notice what relationships don't you feel free in. Number 2, notice where are you trying to fight and where are you in resistance to an invitation that they are offering. And number 3, how can you begin to move into a place of accepting that aspect of yourself? That will begin to create the freedom that you're looking for and ultimately return the power back to your lap. Thanks for watching.